Hi, in this lesson we will see how to get this final render. To easily get this result, we will prepare the setting for the step 4 in order to insert a background as easy as possible. But we will see some specific post-production technique like light and shade with the brushes and grass replacement with the masks. Before starting the final rendering of the step 4, I want to show you how I set up the grass in this scene. I put a plane as base level just in this area in front of the V-Ray physical camera. And with the Edit Poly modifier, using the tool Push-Pull, I create by hand irregularities on this plane, especially near the building. And now something about V-Ray 4. It's a very simple tool. Just select the object on which to draw for and then click V-Ray 4. The only thing I changed in this case was height and bend parameters. As V-Ray material, I have not used any special shader. I just applied a texture grass on the V-Ray 4 and also on the plane below. The most important thing that you have to care of is the UVW map modifier. We have to do some testing to see what size map produces the most interesting result. In fact, watch as it changes the look of V-Ray 4 with the different tiling. 1, 5, 10. In this case, 5 results more interesting for grass because it produces more variation in color. It's difficult to give a rule for this aspect. I just suggest to make some tests before. Since we already know that after the render we'll use a photo as a background, we can make sure that the final render is set to make it easier to complete the step 5 post-production. If I start a render now with V-Ray sky into a V-Ray light dome, the alpha channel will be completely white. So, set V-Ray light dome as invisible and hide the big plane behind. The effect of light and reflections will be the same, with the difference that it will not render the sky in background. In this way, we get a perfect alpha channel for our purpose, which is sky and background replacement. Also add a V-Ray element wire color, which is always useful for selections. For this reason, we give to plane and to V-Ray 4 the same color. This way, both objects will have the same color for the masks. Let's render with our usual settings for step 4 and wait for the result. Save everything with Save All Image Channels in PNG format, ensuring that the Alpha Channel option is enabled. Now go to Photoshop and see how to combine these elements. Welcome to Photoshop, and here we have the render the watercolor element and a background. As you can see, thanks to the alpha channel, the final render already comes with a mask, so we can immediately place a background in the layer below. To start, position it, taking care that the line of the horizon of both images is more or less coincident. There's no need to be too precise, but the important thing is to have this rule as main reference. Now we have to make the merge with the background. Add a layer mask to the render, and using the element watercolor, select these walls. Invert mask, and with a soft brush, paint mask with a black to blend the background into the grass. To complete the background, emphasize the chromatic contrast by creating a colder sky. To do this, add a level color balance and increase cyan and the blue in shadows, midtones and highlights. That's the difference. This way, the background is much more interesting and coherent with our render. Finally, improve the grass color, reducing the saturation just for greens. We can improve by hand the contrast of our image as if we were painting. This light and shade technique is used by professional retouchers and is implemented with a soft light layer. This technique is used to model faces in real photos. Look at this example. Create a new layer, set it to 20-30%, in soft light blend mode. At this point, start painting with a brush, black or white, to lighten or darken. Here's how to change a nose without altering the picture. Finally, this is just the same principle used for professional makeup. We can apply the same technique to enhance the contrast of our image. Add a new layer, 20%, soft light. And now start with a black brush to give depth. Then turn it to a white brush to bring out the brighter parts. Remember that any retouch must never be exaggerated. It should be quite invisible. We need to realize the addition only if we turn off and turn on the layer. After the contrast, create a new layer that is the merging of all layers we have. We can do this with the key combination Ctrl-Shift-Alt-E. Now convert this new layer to a smart object and apply an unsharp mask filter to 1 pixel at 80%. Now select the mask and invert it to cancel the effect and paint with a white brush only in those parts where we want to enhance the details. We can make this light source interesting by adding a lens flare as seen in the lesson 24. Just copy it in our image using screen as blending mode. And we can still have fun with an anharmonic flare, such as those used in the Michael Bay movies like Transformers. I'm sure you know it. To do this in the easiest way, create a new layer, paint an horizontal line with a very vibrant blue, and set the layer on soft light 30%. Here the effect, and also in this case it must be soft and almost invisible. With the right mask and a wise post-production, we may modify or replace many things. For example, this grass made with hdri fur, we can replace it with this lawn extracted from a photo. From white color element, select the grass area, then select the new lawn and click on mask. At this point, with a black and soft brush, paint on the edges of the lawn to shade the grass into the new lawn. Finally, add a new curve layer, making it even more coherent and realistic. Well, with this last step we have completed the 5-step method about Villa T. Carry out the exercises and remember that all concepts learned in this training, and especially the lighting, are applicable to any type of scene like exterior night. Thank you for watching and have fun!